Hey everybody, Adam from Nostalgic here, and today I'm really excited to be talking about one of my all-time favorite games. So, what's the title say? Super Mario RPG. Where do I even begin when it comes to talking about this masterpiece of a game that hasn't already been said? Two titans of the industry, Nintendo and Square, at the top of their game in their golden era where they could do no wrong, decided to collaborate to bring Super Mustachio himself into the RPG space. And the results are about what you'd expect. A charming, engaging, and an overall blast of a traditional turn-based RPG that is anything but traditional. Loved by both Mario and RPG fans alike, and is revered to this day almost 30 years after its initial release. And one look at price charting is all you need to know that both collectors and casual game fans want this game. Why do I and so many others love this game so much? Let me tell you about it. First, a little background. It's 1996. This is a post-Hotel Mario, post-Mario Bros. Film, 1993. And as much as I love that movie, Monkey, it's undeniable these mishandlings of Nintendo's most precious IP left a bad taste in their mouth, one that would take decades to cleanse. And in that long stretch, they were extremely cautious with who they lent their IP out to. As far as I'm concerned, it's a miracle this thing was even made at the time it was made. So with that in mind, we had Shigeru Miyamoto himself at the head as producer, along with a lot of Nintendo and Square's finest, fresh off the heels of not only Final Fantasy VI, aka the best Final Fantasy,
this is not up for debate,
but also Chrono Trigger, both masterpieces in their own right. And that, along with the severely underrated composer, at least in my opinion, Yoko Shimomura. You may not have heard of her, but you definitely heard some of the games she's credited on. Does Kingdom Hearts ring a bell? How about Street Fighter 2? Needless to say, there was a supergroup of talent here, firing on all cylinders to ensure that this thing was nothing short of spectacular. So what did they come up with? Starting as a standard Mario affair, our hero approaches Bowser's castle because Bowser has done what Bowser does best. Kidnaps Princess Toadstool. Yes, Princess Toadstool. Her name was not Princess Peach yet. Mario quickly makes his way through Bowser's forces and faces off against the King of Koopas. But just as the day seems won and the princess saved, a giant sword crashes down from the heavens right on top of Bowser's keep. Mario wakes up in his house to find the princess still missing. So without hesitation, he gets back on that grind. That's a little RPG joke for you all. This quickly leads him on a quest that turns out to be a lot bigger than just saving the princess. That sword that crashed into Bowser's castle is the harbinger for a mighty gang leader known as Smithy. When he and his gang so rudely showed up in the Mushroom Kingdom, they damaged the Star Road. And without this road, wishes can't be granted. So the world is surely going to plunge into chaos. So it becomes a race between Mario and his friends and the Smithy gang to recover the 7 stars!
Recover the 7 stars!
Grandfather's freaky. Super Mario RPG.
When it comes to Square adding their flair to the Mario series, no aspect shines brighter than so incredibly unique, yet fit into the Mario zeitgeist so well. Along your journey, you'll encounter and recruit Mallow, the little puffball magic user who would give even Kirby a run for his money in the round cute boy category. Geno, the Star Warrior, who in order to take physical form in the Mushroom Kingdom, possesses a kid's action figure. He uses magic as well as a full arsenal of arm guns and arm cannons, effectively making him one of, if not the first instance of a gun mage, almost a full decade before Bayonetta danced her way onto the scene. Then, in one of the biggest shakeups in Mario history, Mario actually finds himself teaming up with his greatest adversary, Bowser. And last but not least, even Princess Toadstool joins the party to help take Smithy down. Which only speaks to how much of a threat Smithy and his gang are. The traditional role you think of when you think of Super Mario is all cast aside, and they all have to work together to return the land to order. Speaking of, Smithy is a war-obsessed tyrant who wants to fill the world with weapons. His entire gang consists of menacing living weapons. Swords, hammers, javelins, even a bow and arrow guy. All of these hybrid monsters join the standard roster of enemies Mario and his crew will be facing. Even still, some of these baddies get various forms unique to this game, adding to the world just feeling so much more fleshed out. Then, we have the main man himself. In true early Nintendo fashion, Mario fills the role of the silent protagonist. Yet, without speaking a word, they were able to make him so incredibly expressive. The fact they were able to do this with a mere 16 bits is a true testament to the skill and creativity of the team behind this game. And from that skill and creativity came when translating the Mario formula into an RPG, they knew they couldn't have Mario only walking around, getting into random encounters, and swinging a sword. Common elements one thinks of when thinking of the genre. So how do you fit the essence of Super Mario into an action RPG? Well, right off the bat, you'll notice that Mario is able to jump. In the overworld, jumping is integrated so incredibly well in this game, and you'll find yourself doing it probably more than any other RPG you'll ever play. Several segments have platforming sections. Treasure chests and save points are poised to hover above the ground, so something as simple as even opening a treasure chest is the equivalent of something more like punching a question mark block. This, combined with there being no random encounters, instead opting to have enemies move around in their own patterns in the overworld, makes so much of the experience feel like you're going through Mario levels. This philosophy of a more engaging experience also found its way into the battle system, which is arguably one of Super Mario RPG's best features. The timed hit system. This is what elevated the game from great to truly great. Every time you make an attack, a small window opens up for you to hit a certain button. If you hit it right and right on time, you do more damage. Same applies for when you're being attacked. Land your timed hit, reduce the damage you take. This seemingly simple shake-up to the formula, combined with every enemy and different weapon your characters can get, having different timing windows to master, adds not only a ton of depth, but makes what could have been just another simple menu scrolling fight into an extremely more engaging experience for the player. I just can't sing the praises of this game enough. Well, that's about all I'm willing to talk about Super Mario RPG without going super in-depth. My intent with this video anyway was to gush about it just enough to pique your interest so you hunt down a copy and try it yourself. This is one of those games I've been enthralled with ever since I played it while at a sleepover at my best friend's house when we were kids. I was so obsessed I even remember trading that same friend a handful of Yu-Gi-Oh cards for his copy of the manual, just so I could read it on the bus ride to school every morning. And I hated reading. Learning about the characters and taking in all the cool art any chance I could. Just a few years back, that very same friend was offloading a bunch of his stuff, and knowing it would go to a good home, he hit me up. So after 20 years, I was actually able to reunite this manual with the original cartridge, that one there that's playing right now. I'm proud I get to be the protector of our combined childhoods. So in a nutshell, that's Super Mario RPG. A game bursting at the seams with charm, humor, fun gameplay, innovation for the time, and memorable characters that I and many others cherish to this day. All of these characters left such a lasting impression that now, almost 30 years later, eager fans like myself await their return in any capacity. Whether it be a new entry in the series, which the sequel to this game eventually evolved into what we know today as Paper Mario, they have gotten the odd cameo here and there, but it's just not the same. Every time I see a Super Smash Bros. Fan poll for most wanted character, Geno is not only always on that list, but he's always in the top 3. Unfortunately, since the characters are co-owned by both Nintendo and Square, now Square Enix, one can't use the characters without the other's permission, leaving our beloved childhood friends in a rights purgatory. Maybe someday, we'll get to adventure with them again. Have you played Super Mario RPG? If you have, what do you think about it? If not, I really hope you give it a shot and let me know what you think. Whether in the comments, a direct message, or if you ever find yourself at nostalgic video games, chances are I'll be there. Let's talk about it. This is also the first video I've ever written the script for, so if you think I should do that more, definitely let me know that too. It feels so good to finally fulfill my destiny as a single 30-year-old something that makes video essays on YouTube for fun. Don't forget all that other algorithm-approved interaction because it really does help us out. And until next time, game on, dudes.